Dannii, congratulations on I Kissed a Boy.
Thank you. Have you seen any episodes
Yeah,
yet?
I was like eagerly watching the episodes just now. I'm actually quite enjoying it. So what was your first reaction when they asked you to host this first gay male dating show?
The first thing is the biggest shock. It was, 2023, and there was no gay dating show, period. So it's just shock. And then the excitement of the arrival. Wow, we're having this conversation, and two for an incredible production company, and it's BBC. And then the complete terror and fear. What if it's not done right?
Yeah.
So I have a very long-standing, history with the community and love and respect. And I was like, oh, I don't want to make something that is there's a lot of reality TV and it's a wide gap between good and bad. So I was very hopeful that it was going to be right, and there were a lot of checks and balances before I actually just went, okay, I'm in. And you know, I cannot explain how the BBC and 2 4 steered it in the right direction, looked after the boys on set, off, everything, the casting. Once I saw the casting, I was just like, this is incredible. We get to see boys from all over the UK. There's all these different accents. We're finally seeing different body shapes on TV. We're seeing, one boy has, his inner homophobia. We have body issues. We've got anxiety. We've got all of those things that everybody comes as they are, and we just let it all happen. So the conversations were flowing, and we were happy. This wasn't reality TV where we're poking these guys and trying to make something happen. It all just comes out, especially, I don't think anybody's had that situation where you're 3 weeks, you're with only gay guys, and there are no phones. You're going to walk up to someone and kiss them. You've never met them. You don't know what they look like. And there is no chat. And we are on. And that reminds me of, like, back in the day, you go to a disco, right? And you go to the nightclub, you see someone, and there's that chemistry, there's that electricity, and you kiss, and then you work it out. Where are you from? How long are you in
Well,
town for?
you
What's
know,
happening?
honestly, it's probably pretty true to a lot of gay men's experience. So, what was the funnest or most memorable moment you had on or off screen on the show?
I mean, the joy of watching the boys dancing around for our Pride party was incredible. I mean, this is Pride Month now, so a great time for Hulu to be launching this. To see that absolute, like, letting their inhibitions go, feeling that safe space, that was the most amazing thing on set, because not only were all the boys together, but the way we crewed up around them. So it was mostly male queer crew. There were a couple of female queer crew, and there were a very, like, a handful of straight people on set. I was one of them, lucky enough to be there. But how people felt in that really safe environment to not only party, to laugh, have in jokes, to speak how they would speak with each other. So when I got back from set, I was speaking to my gay friends, and I'm like, you don't talk like that around me. And they're like, no, of course we don't. Like, that's boys with boys, and we're just, how you would be girls with your girlfriends, and it's a different conversation. So I found like it was a great insight, not only into the world of these guys that we're seeing on screen, but for me, getting home and having to be able to have conversations with my friends that would never have come up before was wild, and I loved that.
Was there something that's kind of struck you that's maybe a little bit different about how gay men interact versus the straight world? And I know you also have a show for lesbian dating. Like, what struck you as being a little bit different about the way gay men relate to each other in a dating environment?
there was a huge difference between making the show about the boys and making the show about the girls, which we only just launched in the UK. And so I think the guys, they talk less, and that's a general with, even if you compare with straight girls and queer girls, guys talk less. And it's more one-on-one conversations, whereas the girls will talk in a big group. And we're just used to that. We'll all talk over each other. And at one point I thought, how are we even going to make a TV show out of this? Because that's what we do as girls. But the guys, yes, it's less talking. It's really considered. And I felt they were more aware of themselves than the girls. There's that more self-awareness in the space. And girls are like, brrr, think, and talk, as I'm doing now. So yeah, they're a bit more considered. So when you get something, you know you've got something, and they've probably been sitting on that for a while. It didn't just blurt out.
Yeah, yeah. Now you guys do a fun thing where you interject. I'm not revealing too much, but you interject Mikey, who's the kind of hot guy who shows up and sort of is the snake in the garden, as it were, and mixes things up. What was that kind of element like of creating a little bit of controversy in the show?
It was great. I guess our intention wasn't to have the controversy, but to have options there, because the boys do interviews before they come on, and we know a lot about them, but we know a lot about what they're looking for. But I'm sure you found this with friends before. Your friend says, I'm looking for a guy who's this, who's this, who's this. And then the person they end up, you know, absolutely madly in love with and together for years actually is nothing on that list. So you try to prepare and say, well, here's what you asked for. But then our Heartstopper comes in, and it just flips it in that really natural way where you don't know till you know. And that's all that chemistry and just that electricity of just like, you know, when you bristle, when you see someone, you're like, oh my God, okay, little hair flick, lots of eye contact. And yeah, the guys weren't shy to, you know, I think let everyone know if their connection wasn't working. And Josh definitely grabbed Mikey straight away as soon as he came in the Masseria.
Dannii, thank you so much. Really enjoyed the show, and can't wait for people to see it in the US.
Thanks for watching the You Interview channel. With over 3,000 original celebrity videos, we have one of the largest collections of celebrity interviews anywhere. So remember to like and comment on our videos and subscribe to the channel. If you want to get more involved, you can become a member of the channel. Membership has its perks. You can see exclusive celebrity videos and get the opportunity to ask our celebrity guests questions. We can't wait to hear from you.